TEW here with another video. Today I'm actually going to talk about this theory that piqued my interest when I was watching an episode of Doctor Who literally 5 minutes ago. The idea they called the Bootstrap Theory is actually very interesting, and the reason why I looked it up was because the doctor said, Google it! And by curiosity, I'm like, do I Google it or do I not Google it? Like, screw it. The Bootstrap okay, there it is. Okay. Now, what's making it odd for me? Okay, this is how... it's not actually odd to me or anything, but... Okay. Oh yeah, I remember my next video, what my next video was going to be. Sorry about that. I know I said mine... Hey! I told you guys that my next video would... I'd keep my next video like on FNAF or something like I usually do. I'm kind of sticking to my promise. It's not My Little Pony again. Okay. I'm actually going to tell you something. This is basically what the Bootstrap Theory is, summed up into a tale. Okay, there's this time traveler who wanted to meet... Well, I'm not going to actually go well, I'm not going to use their story. They use Beethoven. Okay. They went back in time to meet Leonardo da Vinci to get their copy of the Vitruvian Man sketch signed by Leonardo da Vinci himself. Leonardo da Vinci, well, no matter where... Actually, there's two different ways this could go. I'll go it this way. He meets Leonardo da Vinci, but comes to realize he wasn't an inventor or artist or etc. But he still shows Leonardo da Vinci the Vitruvian Man sketch. Interested, Leonardo da Vinci actually copies it down and publishes it himself. But at the time, well, since the time traveler went back in time, showed Leonardo da Vinci that, and Leonardo da Vinci his copy, who wrote the original. This basically goes on and on about the whole theory. Okay. I'll start from the top. By the way, this whole thing that I'm about to read to you. Crap, is there even a guy who wrote this? Okay, by Jonathan Holmes, Saturday, October 2015. Yeah, this episode's almost a year old now, but yeah. Still gotta love Doctor Who. Yes, I'm a Who fan. I really want a Doctor Who t-shirt. Got an Albert Einstein one floating around here somewhere. That's Albert Einstein. I think this is it. Yep. I wanted... the Doctor Who jacket to go with the Albert Einstein t-shirt. One feels as if one is dissolved. and merged into nature. Okay. Back to this. Okay. I'll start from the top. The doctor told you to Google the Bootstrap paradox, and now you're here. Okay, let's try to explain what on earth the doctor was talking about at the beginning of Before the Flood episode, all without using words wibbly wobbly. In brief, the doctor proposed a brain teaser image that brain teaser image. You imagine you have a time traveler who loves Beethoven and desires to travel back in time to meet his hero. However, on arriving, he discovers Beethoven has not and will not write any of the music the time traveler loves so much. The time traveler, desperate, decides to copy out of his favorite tunes for Beethoven. The plan is successful, but several centuries later, a certain time traveler is listening to his favorite composer, Beethoven, and decides to go meet him himself. And this guy literally asked the question I asked to you guys. The question is, who really wrote Beethoven's Fifth Symphony? For you who don't know what the Fifth Symphony is, it's dun 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 dun. That one. In fact, the doctor actually plays it on his guitar. Yeah. The 13th Doctor has a guitar. He no longer has sonic screwdriver, but yeah, he traded it out, giving it to Davrock. Thus causing him. Well, for those of you who do not know who Davrock is, he is the father of Daleks. The father of Daleks. Interesting, isn't it? If you've seen the episode, good for you. If you haven't, you're missing out. Okay, back to this. This is an intellectual or bootstrap paradox. Paradox, and I can't talk right now because I'm going crazy. Named for the story by his bootstraps by Robert Heinlein. I wonder where I heard that name. Let's see, Spacesuit will travel. Crap. My mom is based. He's wrote a lot of books that were actually really interesting. He's a sci-fi novelist. Okay, back to this. Story by his bootstraps by Robert Heinlein, who wrote many classic sci-fi novels, including Starship Troopers. In it, a time traveler finds a book that he later realizes he wrote himself. Who later realizes he himself wrote. By copying his own copy, line by line, line by line. Sorry. But who wrote the original? Head scratcher, isn't it? That's basically it. 2 stories. Yeah. I think my mom has that Heinlein book. But who wrote the original? The authorship makes as much sense as trying to lift yourself up by tugging on your own shoelaces. It's a trick that often pops up in sci-fi, usually as a throwaway joke, taken an earlier episode of Doctor Who. The Shakespeare Code. The Doctor who keeps referring lines from plays that haven't been written yet. Here's a little video. I'll leave the link to this page in my description, okay? I promise you that. I promise you that. Okay, back to this. Sorry, forgot I had this in instead of my speakers hooked up. My bad. I'm not playing it again. So the doctor's question is, who actually wrote Beethoven's Fifth? Let's think about this. In a particular thought experiment, a time traveler, we'll call him the Doctor for ease, is inspired by Beethoven and ends up writing the tune in effect. The Doctor inspires himself, who copies Beethoven, who copies the Doctor, who copies Beethoven, and on the infinite, and on ad infinitum without a beginning. Basically, it has a picture of Beethoven, Doctor as Beethoven, Beethoven, Doctor as Beethoven, Beethoven, etc. It's actually very interesting. If you actually want me to read up on another theory, there's actually another theory that I've seen. I actually like theories, by the way. I'm actually a theorizer myself. I'm actually kind of a fan of theoretical physics. Yes, Caitlin. This is the smart side of me. Crap, I couldn't make that fit into that rhythm. Okay, I got it. This is the side of me that is really smart. It's really smart. There. Sorry. My bad. Okay. This is a regressive argument. It explains one situation. We were forced to rely on a long sequence of events. Every stage in the argument requires a previous stage in order to explain itself, which in turn requires another predecessor in trying to explain the thing. Beethoven's Fifth, we have been willed an infinite chain to explain this one, but Beethoven's Fifth, we can't, and since infinitely has no end, we can't know the beginning. In fact, the only thing we are sure of is that Beethoven's Fifth Symphony exists. No habla English today. Sorry. Oh my god, I'm butchering these words. And I knocked my earbud out. 2 thumbs up for a good video that will never be good. Pesky hater. Okay. can't know the beginning. In fact, the only thing we are sure of is that Beethoven's Fifth exists. Fun fact, Beethoven's... See... okay. My brain is still numb from summer. This is actually a good warm-up for it, though. Secretary describes the opening bar as fate knocking on the door. So maybe it really is predestined. Sorry, I'm having bad reading day. Bear in mind that not being able to puzzle out the beginning of the sequence doesn't mean the results fade out of existence. Aristotle himself said you don't have to prove immediate knowledge, i.e. Peter, capital B, is playing Beethoven's Fifth, the doctor who credits, so Beethoven's Fifth must have been written in order to exist. A classic example is to imagine you're standing on top of a pillar so tall the bottom is surrounded by clouds. The pillar may be infinite. You don't know. All you know is, and for sure, is that you're not falling through the air. Yet, in terms of who originally wrote Beethoven's Fifth, we can't give an answer if Beethoven's all the way down. Now, the more observant among you will have noticed that Bootstrap paradox doesn't really describe a line, but a loop, an infinite circle. There. Anyway, I don't think you heard it. There. Just so you know, what I did was dun 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 dun. Here's a GIF of the 13th Doctor plastered on Beethoven's head and Beethoven's face plastered on Beethoven. It's just infinitely spinning. A casual loop is a casual loop. This argument seems more appealing than an infinite regress. When traveling along the outside of the circle, you don't ask where it begins or ends. As a circle has no beginning and has no end, but your journey is a straight line in your perspective. The tune is inspiring itself without slipping into infinite as a circle. The finite size, you can ride a merry-go-round as long as you like, but those ponies will never take you anywhere. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to sing the Himothy theme song. Screw it. My little pony, my little pony. There, sorry. I had to, okay? I had to. The brony? I had to. Sorry. Driving around a round boat 100,000 times is the same as you traveling from Giano Goats to the land's end. The Doctor and Beethoven can swap notes from each other without issue. What's more, this arrangement contains all of the information required for Beethoven's Fifth to exist, instead of the infinite chain of Doctors and Beethovens. We just need one leaving the note for himself. Yeah. The issue is, although it's tidier setup, a circle argument is not hugely useful. Cache loop doesn't explain itself. It simply is. We have sidesteps the Doctor's questions. Who wrote the music in the beginning? By rendering the concept of the beginnings moot. Well, the concept of beginnings moot. M-O-O-T. I'm probably butchering my own language right now. I really should start picking up the dictionary more often again. True story. That's how I had a bunch of words in my vocabulary list, and now that I've actually stopped saying them, because, yeah, well, I slow down saying them, because people are like, huh? And I got tired of being like, it means this, it means that. And is a word to have. Oh my God. Sorry. Okay, back at this. What's more? Who wrote the music in the beginning? By rendering the concept short music, we have given him a total different spot answer. Well, different sort of answer, which is the same as not answering. It's like we've all started speaking like Matthew McConaughey in True Detective. The Doctor. Here, pal. Who wrote the Fifth Symphony? Matthew McConaughey. Time is a flat circle. The Doctor. Sigh. I miss Clara. Oh my God, this is so... The answer holds together, but it's not also. But it's also infuriating. You think? No, it doesn't think. There's no issue with the nature of information and entropy that we're not going to get into here. We wouldn't want to get bogged down now, would we? Tell me! Sorry. Okay. So yeah, basically what that's saying is, instead of thinking this guy does that and that guy does that, but that guy does that causing this, all etc. But instead thinking of it as a loop. one doctor. Just think of it as a loop. Infinite loop. Yeah, like a merry-go-round. Sorry, explain itself. Sorry. I wanted to give my own explanation. If you got this far, you're probably the sort of person who's now shouting about alternate timelines. We're going to ignore the issue whether alternate timelines exist in the Doctor Who universe. Trying to straighten out that canon would make our heads explode. Try it? Nah, I'm good. You're probably like, come on, 58! This is boring! Going to your other videos. Please don't. Please don't. In fact, if you actually made it this far, we're almost 30 minutes, oh no, 21 minutes in, fine. Okay. We're 21 minutes in. Just bear with me. Okay. Here's another doctor explaining the concept. And it shows... Crap, I forgot his name. I'm not with the doctor from, Back to the Future. Forgot his name. That one guy. Let's just go with that. That one guy. I'm more of a Doctor Who fan than Back to the Future. Doc Brown. Okay. Sorry. To science! I like theoretical physics. I cannot say that enough. I love theoretical physics. It's interesting. Next time I see my friend Caitlin, I'm going to start up a theoretical physics argument. I've not successfully successfully started an argument. I tried throwing different theories at her, but they stick. They stick like dry spaghetti to a ceiling. But if I talk to my friend Toby King Cat about like FNAF, it sticks to the ceiling like wet spaghetti. Like half, like all the thoroughly cooked spaghetti. Sorry, I'm popping my neck before I go back. Okay. This is more science fiction than philosophy. Well, philosophy. I'm a genius, aren't I? Okay, keep in mind, it's literally 2:27 right as I speak. Now it's 2:28, just turned. But essentially, how theory goes, that there must have been an original sequence of events. in which Beethoven, or some other third party, but let's not make this more complicated, wrote the Fifth Symphony. Sorry, tongue-tied. Symphony. However, this timeline was derailed by something that didn't happen in the original sequence of events. Everything that happened afterwards is entirely new and unpredictable, with no one else stepping up to write the fifth. The traveler is forced to do it himself. From that point on, we are in a new history. For the reason we can't go back and find Beethoven writing the music is because Beethoven didn't write the music in the sequence of events. Nevertheless, the idea for the music did not originally come from Beethoven, but was changed in the original timeline. How about the time traveler's arrival itself? Perhaps Beethoven was too busy arm wrestling the doctor to hear him knock on his door, or perhaps needing a fanboy put him off music altogether. Sorry, something popped in my head, which happens all the time. Sorry. Whatever the reason, time traveler is forced to intervene, but what happens in the future of this new timeline? When a young time traveler decides to meet his hero Beethoven in the timeline that follows the one when another doctor was hunting for an autograph. And the next one, and the next, 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 and the next. Show forth by this picture right here. Yes, like I said, I'll leave the link in the description, and me and you can go over it together. Well, you all. We have replaced a line stretching back to infinity without a branching tree stretching forward into infinity. That experience of the timeline traveler jumping track, like a bit like a infinity straw, we guess, is twisted but otherwise is moving in the same direction. The big problem you'll have noticed is that no matter how many times you're dealing with, theory begins with an assumption of an original author. Da 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 derp. And this author was Beethoven, which is what we're trying to prove. No. We've been reading this because we're bored. Actually, yeah, I'm actually reading this because I'm bored. Not. Actually, yeah. Actually, I'm reading this. I'm actually going over this as for YouTube video. Yeah. Okay. The Greeks used to call this the beginning the question. Begging the question. Please don't hate me. Please don't hate me. I'm trying my best. It's literally now 2:33 a.m. And I'm making a video. Okay. So, after all that we've learned... Wait. The Greeks used to call this begging the question. We call it a massive headache. Crack out the Tylenol, kids. Daddy's got a headache again. Someone needs to smash the doctor's good. Wait, crap. No, that's two. Fifth Symphony is a banging tune. No matter who wrote it, someone needs to smash the doctor's guitar. The rules of time travel and logic really, really don't get on, or in other words, it's all. And this is it. The beginning. Well, I'm at the end. Well, now it says, well, we tried. And now there's a bunch of ads. Apparently, it's already logged me into my Facebook. Okay, that's it. I was reading some of the comments, sorry. It's actually very fascinating, if I do say so myself. You know, I'm posting this to Facebook. Post to Facebook. Okay. Well, this has been TEW 58 with a very interesting video on science. Yes. Theoretical physics. Philosophy, whatever you want to call it. I call it theoretical physics. Dad for science. Sorry, just had to. Okay. This has been TEW 58 with a theoretical physics video. See you all later. Control, Alt,